Well, it finally happened after making a big thing about the build going well and nothing going wrong. The arse fell out of my little RC world. Yes, what happened? Right. So, basically, I've got this all built to this point with and the cover, and I've got it all fitting, and I've had it all fastened together like you've seen in the last video. And what happened? What happened? Yes, I'll tell you what happened. I turned it over to be up on its sat on the mount, and the end just completely sheared off. I didn't see it coming. I didn't plan for it. There was no contingency for it. I was totally unprepared. So what have I done? Well, long story short is I knew after cutting away all this plastic that would be a weak point. But I didn't think for a moment it'd snap off before I'd finished the build. Now, I'd always planned on once I'd got all the drive shaft. Well, I'll tell you what, before I get into that, I'll show you what I was doing. I had the truck and I just turned it over like that. And it was just sat on the 4 body mounts, and it just sort of went and snapped off. Now, I knew once this thing started running around, you hit something with the front, all the pressure was going to be there. So I was going to put some extra bracing on top and bottom. All I was doing was turning it over to measure the length for the drive shaft to the front diff to the centre diff. That's all I was doing. Like I said, I'd always planned to put some extra bracing on for strength once it were running, but I didn't think for a minute it'd break before I even got the damn thing running. Anyway, so what have I done? What have I done? Where's the missing piece? Right. So, how am I fixing this? Right. Well, take this piece out. Well, you can see where it broke. I figured gluing a piece in the middle to fill the plastic. Maybe I should have used the super glue and... What are you nudging the door? Bloody dog. Maybe I should have used the super glue and bicarbonate of soda to bridge the gap. Maybe it'd have bonded better than just gluing a piece in. My bad. Yeah. So anyway, what am I doing? Right, this is... It was a pack of colouring pencils. But it's like a tin stuff, but it's flexible, it's bendy, and it's thin. And what's more, it won't tear across that joint there. So I know if I bond it with this, it won't snap that way. It may bend sideways. But anyway, so I've made a piece, a liner to go inside the void, and then covered it with the bicarb of soda and super glue. Now it's brittle. I could have done with finding a glue that would have glued and stayed flexible so that it didn't snap, but now that I know just how weak a weak point I've made, I will have to be extremely bloody careful. Right, now another part of the bracing that I was going to do was to build up piece, because as you can see I cut it across there. That's all that's left of the original piece, because the bottom half of that is holding all the A-arms on that. Like I said in the previous video, the drive shaft wanted to go through right where the pivot point for the A-arms were, so I couldn't keep them. I'm beginning to wish I'd done a workaround, but anyway, you work with what you've got, and this diff is what I've got, so that was what I was using. I'd wanted to build this without having to buy any parts. Now, I would have to have bought an entire like WPL 1/18 buggy to strip all the bits off to make this work, so possibly in the long run that would have been cheaper and a lot less dangerous, because I would have had to cut less material away. Hello Poochie, my little friend's here, look, to fill me with saliva and imitate my video recording. Right, now all along I'd planned on making this a bit of an extra support. Now what I've done is this now cradles that entire thing top and bottom, creating more is it lateral or rotational stresses? Anyway, to stop the stress pulling at this point here, because this will go all the way around, and I'm going to make it sort of fasten to the bottom of this, and then there'll be an aluminium skid plate that fastens to this and this, and then the piece that I took out, the original suspension piece. Now, I've originally miscalculated. Now, what I'm going to do now is run it so that it fits over that, and run some screws through that, so then that will be braced to the sides, so it shouldn't break again. Now, I had planned on doing all of this, but just wanted to get the drive shafts measured and done first. Now, silly mistakes happen. My God, it was a silly mistake, but it's cost me dear. So yes, I will take this other side off. I can only do on one side at a time because it's holding everything in place. This little affair here, this little drive shaft here in the middle, from the centre to the rear, that's a faff. What I really should have done was made the hole big enough so I can feed it in from the outside. So that's more like a captured piece now, but there's enough movement for it to come out of the drive cup inside. What a monumental piece of work getting that back in once it slipped out. Anyway, so yeah, I'm rebuilding and extra bracing right now. This shouldn't break the same way it did. I can't promise it wouldn't break under running conditions, because I plan on driving this like you would a normal Blackfoot, jumping it up and over and around, bouncing off of things. So it needs to be strong. So there will be some additional bracing, and you can buy this for the original Blackfoot bracing from there to there. I've never broken a two-wheel drive one, but it must be an issue, or you wouldn't be able to buy bracing for it. So that's also a thing. I wasn't going to bother, but the black cowling, the housing that goes over here, also works as a support for the shock tower. I wasn't going to bother buying one, but I think I may have to, just for extra strength. It will go over the end of that. It'll go over the end bell of that, I think. So that may work in the scheme of things for tidying that up. So right, that's where we are. Once I've done the same job on the other one, I can then rebuild it, and then I can start bracing. See, what I didn't want to do was have to undo all this stuff every time I wanted to take it apart to measure drive shafts. So I left it the last job. Maybe I should have done it first in hindsight. Hindsight, what a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing. How I would got by without these two, I don't know. Luckily, I've got another 5 bottles of this in the cupboard. So this is Megafix super glue. It's very, very runny, and it's good for this stuff. I mean, like, I'm busy. I made this one out of multiple pieces, and it keeps breaking on me. So I may have to rebuild it, because on this one I made it out of one piece. Sparky, stop it, baby. I made it out of one piece, so that will be by definition stronger, but it's not as strong a plastic that I made it from, so yeah. Right, anyway, that's it for today. I've got some TV and a lovely cup of coffee to drink. I know it looks like hot chocolate, but it's Nescafe double mocha. Right, anyway, that's this video done for now, so thanks for watching, peeps, and next time you see it, we'll be back together. I keep saying that, but hopefully I won't break it again. Anyway, so I need to buy some drive shafts, because just before I go, none of the drive shafts work. Now, this is a standard length Tamiya arm, so I'm thinking the TL01B, which this arm is a replica of, drive shaft will fit. But they're not as common as you think now, actually. I've been looking for TL01 bits online, and they're few and far between and costly. So I need to make sure I've got the right size before I order it, because, well, ordering parts that you can't afford when they're the wrong ones is bad. Bad. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, peeps. Goodbye, more soon, hopefully. Next time you see it, it'll be back on all 4 wheels again. Thanks for watching. Bye.